Morning, good evening, everyone. So this is the USMLESarthi team. I'm Pawan, and today we have our student, Dr. Pallavi Chaurasia, who recently matched. And we specifically wanted to understand her challenges, how she overcame those, and tips for other aspirants of USMLE Match. So welcome, Pallavi. How are you?
So much, Pawan. I'm good. How are you?
Good. So let's start off with some introductions so that the audience has some perspective about where you come from, your graduation, etc.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Pallavi Chaurasia. I'm from India and I did my MBBS from Siusha Medical College, it says in Gujrat, one of the state in India. And I'm a graduate of 2006. So, and after that, I did my post-graduation in biochemistry. And I came to US in 2017. And after that, only I started my USMLE journey.
Wow.
So, yeah. So,
I'm sorry. So just to summarize, so you are by all definitions an old YOG.
Yes.
You did a home country residency in biochem. And so you matched after 15 years YOG or something like that, right? So close to 15, 16. 16. So that's a huge achievement. So yeah, now let's go on and talk about what you're going to talk about, maybe the challenges, maybe how you overcame.
Yeah. So when I first started this journey, I was literally clueless because all of my batchmates, they passed USMLE and matched in 2010, 2008. So I don't know anyone who was preparing with me. And in India, I think we have that social stigma, that one stigma we have, that like if we are studying, we have to keep ourselves away from the social media, like Facebook, we should shut it off and everything. And I did that. So I think while preparing for USMLE journey, social media is really a good help because you can get a group and you can discuss the things that I realized after I got my results or steps. So discussion really helps. So always get connected with the groups that are available. And also I was literally clueless. So I searched for the consultancy services because I need guidance. So I contacted Pawan from Sarthi and it was really helpful. And I was the 2006 graduate. So I was little nervous whether I will get matched or not. But Pawan and my mentor, Dr. Shailja, and everyone they were talking as if they were very optimistic. They don't have any doubt like whether I will match or not. They were like, do your things. Matching is not our hand, but you have to do our things. And they were always supporting and guiding. So I think that decision was really good. And that really helped me in this process. So when I first started the steps, obviously I was reading after 15 years. So for me, it was really tough. But the thing is, in USMLE journey, you have to keep going. And in this, I think my husband was the biggest support because initially we tried to I'm not able to do it. I will back up. But he was like, no, you can do it. So he was my constant support for finishing my steps. And then Sarthi was there to guide me how to write personal statement, how to improve my CV. And with their instructions or guidance, I have a gap. Like I had a child in 2020. So after 2019 to in 2019, I did rotations and got LOR from 2019 only. And after that I had gap for 2 years. And in 2022, I tried to search for free clinic near me. And I started as a volunteering. I started doing scribing thing in that clinic. And that really helped me because I was in California. So in California, you can't do hands-on rotations. So observership is the only thing that you can do it. So with scribing, I was able to see patient-doctor interaction. So I was able to observe at the same time. And also I started that thing that shows in my CV that I'm doing something because that was the only thing with a small child that I can do. And then I published a paper, a review article that really helped me. And this is how I try to improve my CV. And also during rotations, try to be humble and good to every person you meet, because you never know who will help you. Because most of the candidates who were with me during rotations, they actually recommended me or suggested me to do few things. So always be humble to everyone, and always have some mentor, because whenever you feel like you are low or you are not having any ideas, so mentor always guide. So that is where Sarthi usually most of the time help me in that. And then I think after these all things improved my CV a lot, and it shows like I am doing different things like scribing and observership and this publication, and all these things improved my CV a lot. I think that helped me.
So the interesting thing you mentioned was you were in California, and obviously you know were doing observership, scribing. So did you do anything outside California, or were your rotations limited to California?
So in 2019, I did rotations, one in Houston, one in New York, that were totally hands-on rotations, and in big hospitals like Baylor College of Medicine and everything. And I got a letter of recommendations from that time only that I used in this 2021 cycle, 2022 match cycle. And because when I started scribing, they have some rule like they will give LOR after 6 months or something. And when this application period started, I didn't finish that 6 months. So I was not able to get letter of recommendation from California. But in 2019, I did many rotations. So I got it from there. And beside that, I didn't do any rotation. I did private clinic rotations, not big hospital. Private clinics I did in Atlanta. Then, Atlanta, 2 rotations I did in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get into the other aspects, with such a long YOG and other challenges, and you mentioned your husband was the support system, which was about studying and all. Were there any other issues you faced? Were the programs when, talking about the break, or what were some of the other challenges you faced because of the older YOG?
I think most common thing was most of the program directors, they don't like old YOG, they want fresh graduates. So whenever, like when we search for the programs in their website, they have written like YOG up to 3 years or 5 years, not more than that. So most of the programs are filtered out. We can't apply. I applied in all, but that was of no use. But I have seen that they prefer fresh graduates. So for older graduates, it's really difficult, and it's important to keep ourselves fresh and in contact with patients. So that is the thing that helped me while doing scribing and observership, able to observe able to do observership at the same time.
Yeah. I think that was a very good and different decision, not only because people generally either do scribing or they only do observership. So you were able to combine both and possibly convince the programs that even if you're an older graduate, you are current and up to date with the system.
Yeah. And with scribing, you are able to tell you are familiar with the EMR system. And during rotation, in hands-on rotations that I did in Atlanta, New York, and Houston, Texas, there I was able to use different type of EMR. So I can speak in my interview like I use this, and I am comfortable. So they are okay. In their system, if they are using in their hospital, if they are using some other system, so I'm able to upgrade myself and I will be comfortable with that. Because in one of my interview, the interviewer actually write down all the things that I said. So he wrote down like I used Epic, Point Fusion, Ethna, everything. So he wrote it down. So that is why. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the other tips you would like to give to maybe students who are applying this year, maybe old graduates? Have you missed anything in terms of what you learned from your journey, or maybe some mistakes you would not want them to do? What are some of the things you want to guide them on?
Yeah. So most important thing that I want to say is try to understand what people are asking. because there are interview residency questions, that most common questions they will ask, but we have to understand what is the meaning of that question. Sarthi team will say, like, you have to say this, but we don't understand why they are saying like this. Because what are your mistakes or what are your negative points they ask. But it's not like everyone says like you have to say your positive point showing it as a negative, but it's not true. You have to say anything, but how you are improving.
Right.
So this is what Sarthi people always say. And I was like, what does it mean? I was not able to understand that part. So most important thing is to understand what program director or the programs that they are asking a question, what they want from these questions. So I think understanding those things, and I watched almost all the YouTube videos that are available on internet. So that also helped me to understand what people want. So once we get it, what they are actually wanting, then that will improve your CV, and not CV, your personal statement, what to write in your PS, then you can make it according to that. Because simply writing like I did this, it's not helpful. What we learned from that, because when I first joined Sarthi, so my mentor used to say this and I was like, what she's saying, I'm not understanding, because I'm from India. We never did all these things. So it was totally new. So, and also my husband, he's an engineer. He's taking these behavioral type of interviews. So he also helped me. And he was like whole day saying like, this means that, this means that. So that also like, then I started collaborating, comparing both things and trying to combine both things, whatever my mentor said and whatever my husband is saying, try to combine. And then I realized, okay, both are saying same thing. The result is the same. I am not able to understand because it was literally new to me.
Right.
This is most important thing, like whatever they want, we have to think like them and then write our answer or prepare like that.
Okay.
And for the interviews, I can guess we have to prepare a lot. Like when I started preparing, I was like, I will get one interview, I have to crack it. Because I'm an old graduate, so I won't get 10 interviews. If I get 1 or 2, that will be privilege for me if it's 2 or 3. So luckily I got 3. So it was my motto, like if it's one interview, I have to crack it. So I have to prepare like that. So we have to prepare like that. And in USMLE journey, I learned like, if you are doing it, you will get it. So that really helped me.
Last question. How should old graduates keep motivating themselves? This is the biggest kind of challenge also, they give up, right?
They give up. If my husband was not there or Sarthi weren't there, I must have given up. Yeah.
So any tips, anything you want to recommend for motivation?
For that, most important thing is try to join the Facebook groups, WhatsApp group, or any consultancy like Sarthi is there and Sarthi Telegram group is there. Everyone is motivating and try to communicate with the people. If you communicate and talk with them, because when you started talking, you make a group, no one is considering you or treating you as an old graduate. Everyone is treating you as you are like among them. So that actually bring positive energy in us, because as an old graduate, back in our mind, we have like, oh, we are old, what people will think, and will I be able to adjust with them, with fresh graduate? Because there is generation gap or whatever you said.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is a little bit different. Our time was different 15 years ago. Now it's totally different. So try to communicate and try to adjust with them. Like it's a small example, like I have to create my Instagram account because new generation is using it. So we have to be up to date with them. So I created. It's okay. I'm not using it, but I have my Instagram. So it's not like I will say, oh, I don't have Instagram. No, I am like trying to update myself.
That is a very good, actually a very pointed example, whether it's Instagram or in US TikTok.
Yeah. So like back in our mind, we won't feel like we are something different. Yeah, we will feel like among them. That is very important to keep us going with them.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Pallavi. This was great. I think very, very motivating and eye-opening for especially older graduates on how not to give up and that they can also match. So thank you for your thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.